All right, guys, today's video is going to be about what it is that I do out here on the road. What exactly is expediting? I'm going to be talking about how do you get into expediting, the pay, what to expect when you're out here and all that different stuff. So if you want to know how to get into expediting, especially during these times, be sure to watch this video. So what exactly is expediting? Basically is time critical freight. It's time sensitive. So you pick up something, it needs to get to somewhere fast, or as fast as you can do it. Sometimes, you might have, a production, facility that forgot to ship out a part, or you might have a situation where the place where you're dropping off at is waiting for you to get there because their whole production line has stopped. That happens a lot. They need a particular part, in order, for their production line to resume moving. And you picked up this particular part up in, let's say, Detroit, Michigan. You picked it up there, at 8 in the morning, and then it has to go, let's say, to Kentucky by 2 p.m. But you are the one that needs to hurry up and get it there, because as of right now, their whole, let's say, first, second shift can't do nothing until this part gets down there. So you are expedite. You are to get that freight there in as quick of time as possible. Now, the company, they're not going to expect you to do 80 miles down there. The company that I work for, they build in enough time for you to get there and be on time. They average your speed out to be about 50 miles an hour. So of course, if you're doing 60, you're doing 65 miles an hour, you are bound to make it on time, even if you decide to take a break, even if you decide to, hey, I want to stop it, grab a bite to eat, I have to get fuel, whatever the case may be. They build in enough time for you to safely get there. There's times where you might have a shipment that needs to go into Mexico, but as a driver, you can't take it into Mexico, but they need it down there for whatever reason. And you're coming from 1700 miles away, and they need it faster than perhaps what other methods that might get it down there slower. So, with that being said, it is time sensitive, time critical freight. There has been times that I have delivered a generator that was needed to power up a little town, and the power company could not power up the town without this little generator. And literally, when I pulled up, the guy said, you just made 400 or 500 people happy, because now their power going to be on sooner, because I wasn't expected to be down there for another few hours, and I showed up a few hours early. So that's the rush delivery. It's critical, and it's essential, and it's necessary for things to start rolling again. There are times that, I've delivered an envelope. Whatever was in the envelope, I don't know. I delivered an envelope. It had to go 200-300 miles. It had to be there ASAP. So expediting is constant going. Now, that's not to say that you're gonna always be rolling, but when you're going, you're going. What to expect when out here expediting? Expect to hurry up and get there just to wait. Okay, that's something I've noticed a lot with these pickups. Hurry up and get there to pick it up, and then when you get there, guess what? You gotta wait. You will find that more often than not. At least in my situation, I get to these places and I'm there like, sometimes I could be there too early, and I understand why I might have to wait, but there are times I can get there right at the scheduled date or scheduled time, and then I still have to wait. So this is a business where that is pretty big. Hurry up, get the pickup, get there, now you gotta wait. So then that cuts into your time of, getting it dropped off in time. It cuts in your time to maybe take the extra little 5 minutes for a break, a power nap. It does cut into, things like that. But that's all the nature of the beast when you are in this line of work. Nothing will go according to plan. There's not a perfect scenario with this job. I mean, there might be times where you might get that load where everything just worked out perfectly. You got the load. It gave you time to get ready, to get freshened up, to go get it. You get there, the guy already got it at the door, waiting to be loaded into your van. That's quick, bam, done. Gives you the paperwork, actually gives you 2 copies. You go ahead, you take off. You go to the receiver. You get there, they're already there, open arms, ready to hug you. Thank you for bringing my freight on time, pretty early. They be ready there with their tow motors, ready to get you unloaded. Wham, bam, you're done. You're off to the next load. There's times you get it done like that, and it'd be perfect. There are times you get up, 6, 7 in the morning, you grab the load, you drop it off by 4 or 5 o'clock that night, and you're done for the day. There's times that happens. But there is also times where you will get to a shipper and they can't find your shit. They can't find your stuff. I'm sorry. There are times you get there, they will not be able to find it. Even though dispatch called you and said it's ready right now, when you get there, they look at you like, we ain't got nothing coming down here. So now you got to figure out what's going on there. There are times you get to the shipper and your freight may not fit. I'm currently in a 2 pallet van. I used to have a 3, but I got a newer van, which it downgraded it to 2. But there are going to be some times where they say, hey, you have 2 pallets. Okay, fine, it should fit. And then when you get that second pallet on there, now you realize, hey, this may not fit. There are times you're going to deadhead 100 or so miles to a place that cannot fit their load into your van. Yes, you will get paid for that in a sense, but it's somewhat gas wasted. There are going to be times that you get to the shipper, even though one person said it was ready right now, you might get there, they might tell you gotta wait 2 hours. There are times where you can get to the receiver and you get there and they might make you wait a few hours before they can unload you. There are times where dispatch will tell you, hey, be at the receiver at 9 p.m. and then you get there and they say, well, we have no second shift. Third shift doesn't come in until midnight. Now you gotta wait for that. There is a lot of different scenarios, different situations to expect when expediting. Sometimes you could get going and you ain't got to worry about no traffic situations. You ain't got to worry about no accidents, no construction, smooth sailing. You get there, you drop off, you go on about your day. Then there's going to be other times where, especially when you're doing a long distance travel, like anywhere from up north down to Laredo, which is where I'm at right now, there is going to be so much construction along the way. You can't avoid that. You're talking about 14, 15, 16, 1,700 mile stretch. There's bound to be something going on, construction-wise, traffic-wise. Somebody's going to get an accident, rush hour, whatever you call it, whatever you think of, it's going to happen. You're going to run into all kinds of weather terrain. You're going to run into everything you could possibly imagine during that long stretch journey. And you have to expect that when you are expediting, because, again, nothing is going to ever be perfect when doing this. And, sometimes, like I said, sometimes things might go right. Sometimes things might not. Expect to be out here 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Actually, I won't even say 2 weeks. I mean, to me, in order to make really, really good money out here, you gotta be out here. The longer you're out here, the more money you're gonna make. Me, I personally go home every 3 weeks. So there's some people that stay out here for months at a time. I can't do that. I'm not in the position to do that. There might come a time where I might do that, but as of right now, I go home every 3 weeks. So I go home every 3 weeks, and I'm usually home about 4 days at a time. So about 4 days out of the month, I'm at home. Again, there's going to be times where you will be moving constantly. There's going to be times where you feel that you can't stop running. There were times as soon as I dropped off a load, they called me with another one. There are times that while I'm in the middle of a load, they call me with a pre-planned load, which basically is self-explanatory. It's a load that they plan for you to be on almost immediately after you drop that one off. So there's gonna be times where you're gonna be constantly running. You're gonna feel like you can't get no sleep. Then there's gonna be other times where you're gonna feel like they're not working you enough. And those are the times where it might get frustrating. It might make you rethink, is this something that you could do, as a career? Because there will be times where, like I said, you're gonna feel like you're making a whole bunch of money. Oh, I had a really, really good week. I had 3,000 miles. I done brought home, $1,700, $1,800. Life is good. And then the very next week, damn, only had that 1,000-mile load. Only got like $300. Those weeks will come. Those weeks will come. And I always say that if you're looking to get into expediting, do not go out here buying your own van, committing yourself to thousands and thousands of dollars of something that you don't know if it's gonna work. Don't go out here purchasing a brand new van with $300-400 a week payments. Don't go out here doing that, because if you realize that this is not for you, now you are stuck with these payments in dead weight. Because what are you gonna do with this van? I mean, I guess you could, convert it to an RV and travel that way, but it would have been money wasted. I suggest, go onto different websites, Expeditors Online, go on Facebook, Expedite Nation, Transportation Wings, Wheels, and Rudders. Go into these little different Facebook groups, interact with different drivers. It's so many different kinds of people out here that will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's going to be some very positive drivers, and there's going to be some very negative drivers out here. There's going to be some that are neutral. There's going to be some that will tell you how it is, and there's going to be some that's going to sugarcoat it. But you need to hear from all aspects of it so you know exactly what it is to expect when you come out here. And I suggest even going on YouTube, Everything Apex, a great guy. And then there's several other YouTubers that bring these videos to light that will sit there and tell you exactly how it is. These people that have experience, that's been out here for some years, that can run around the block a few times. Just do your diligent research, because your first 3 weeks will be the hardest, because likely, depending on who you work for, you may not get paid until the end of those 3 weeks. And make sure you have some money saved when you are out here, especially for those first 3 weeks, because first 3 weeks, depending on who you work for, you may not get paid right away. So you're gonna have to, have money to eat out here, have money to keep yourself together out here, and even for entertainment, if you want to do that. What is the pay like? Obviously, working for a fleet owner is not going to be as great as if you are under your own authority or whatnot. But I average about 78 to 84 cents a mile. Now, of course, you do the math there. You will have to be running a real good week. I feel for me, 1,500 miles to me is a good week. Anything where I am making over $1,000 to myself, or I don't want to say that. Anytime where I feel that I'm making more than, I said, $1,000, $1,100 to the van, I feel it's okay for me. Now, people gonna say that that's kind of low, but I have a second income outside of this, so I'm not in this to get rich. I'm not in this to make quick money. I'm genuinely doing this because I genuinely love what it is I do. I genuinely love traveling and getting paid to travel. I'm not looking out here to be a millionaire. I'm just doing what it is I truly love to do. So, the pay, again, 78 to 84 cents, that's what I average. I could average pretty close to 2,000 miles a week. So, to some people, that's not great money. To me, that's just fine. Again, there's going to be some weeks you get maybe 3,000 miles. But be prepared, because for every really good week, there's going to be one bad week in there somewhere. So, be prepared to sleep in your van. It is not cost efficient to get a hotel every time you have a little stretch of not getting no loads. My sleeping arrangement is right behind me. I have a permanent bed back there with memory foam mattresses, and it suits me just fine. Now, granted, it gets a little hot back there sometimes, and I have to, crack open my windows or do what I have to do. But that's going to be your sleeping arrangement for 3 weeks. Again, your first 3 weeks out here is going to be trying, because you're going to have to get used to going from sleeping in what was your bed at your house to sleeping in your bed in the van, because this is your home now, because you're going to be here majority of the time now. So you have to get used to that. Make yourself comfortable back there. Now, I don't have no entertainment back there, but there's some setups that might have a TV back there, might have a refrigerator back there. They have an inverter, stuff to keep them occupied. You do what you have to do to make sure you're comfortable, because again, you are out here for 3 weeks at a time, and there are going to be times where you will have some serious downtime, and that will help you, along the way. So, that is a little bit about my spiel on expediting. Again, it is time-sensitive freight. There's going to be some weeks where you're going to do really good, where you're going to really be busy, and then there are going to be some weeks like now where, it's not so busy. One thing, though, know your freight lanes. That has to be important. Know your freight lanes. Know where it is your company does the best at. Do not sit here and take a load to a place that your company never goes and expect to hurry up and get back out of there. Do not do that to yourself, because if you do that to yourself, especially during the first 3 weeks, you will be quitting by the end of those 3 weeks. So please do yourself a favor and know your freight lanes. And if you know your freight lanes, you will start off doing really, really well. I know my freight lanes, and that's exactly where I stay. And I might dip below it occasionally, like right now. But I know when I leave from where I'm at right now, I'm going right back into that freight lane. And that's as simple as that. But I just want to let you know exactly what expediting is, what to expect. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. And until next time, folks, take care, and thanks for watching.